Today we are talking about Swift fundamentals. So you can open your Xcode and create a new project, which app, and app name is Swift ABC. Great. And by default, it let's say we change the simulator to iPhone 17. So by default, it has an app, it has a content view. So by default, it shows hello world. So the fundamentals, we are talking about the Swift data types and collections, control flow, functions, options, and tuples. So first, let's say the Swift types. We can have our variable over here, like this is the content view, it's default view, and we can say light name, which is type of string. So the first type is a string, and we can say we can set the value to Swift, and you can see in our body, this body will show the UI, and first we have image, and the second is text, and inside text is a string. We can, because our name is string type, we can just replace it with our local variable of name, and we change the text will now show the name of Swift over here. So our variable is type of string. Let's say we have a variable age, which type is int, which is an integer, and the integer we say is equal to 10. And to display the text only takes the string type, and to say the age is type of integer, we can put our variable, we can go to string interpolation, and which now is backslash and parentheses, and inside we say that's the age, put our variable type of integer in, and this will get a string type. So after that we got the age of, we can say the variable of age is 10, and we can have a double type. Let's say let pi, which is type of double, and which is equal to 3.14159, and we can say the variable of pi is pi, and you can see the variable pi is pi, and we can say light is awesome is type of boolean is true or false, so it's true, and we can see the variable of is awesome is awesome, and the variable of is awesome, which is true. So that's the basic Swift types. Okay, next collections. Let's see, we got collections, and which is array. Let's say we have variable numbers which equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, but you can see we didn't specify actually this is type of int. Swift is strong typed. It will check the numbers type, but if we didn't specify the type of, which is a array of int, if we didn't specify, we set the value, by the value Swift can infer the types. So, and we say the numbers equal to this, and next we can say dictionaries we can say var variable scores equal to scores. It's a key value pair, so the key is Alice, and which Alice has used the colon, has a score of 95, and the second is Bob, which we say colon Bob score and 87, and we can say to see the value to get the value from key of a dictionary, we can see let's say Bob's score is, and we can say the scores variable, and which bracket and Bob. And you can see it's optional, and the value of 87 to unwrap the value of optional value can be unwrapped. You can say exclamation, and we'll say Bob's score is 87. And the sites array dictionary, the sites which is we got unique number. It's not like, it's similar to array, but it's not like array. We say like unique numbers, so which equal to, even you put the repeat number like 2 and 3 and 3 and 4, it will only have 1 2 3 4 instead of it's not like array will be 1 2 2 3 4. And so let's see, we can also open the new playground blank. You can see my playground, create, and if we got our score array over here, Control C, go to the playground over here, we can see our numbers equal to 1 2 3 4, and we can say numbers has the high order function of append. I can say append 6, and we can print numbers. And you can see the number is if we have the variable numbers 1 2 3 4, and if we append 6, it will append to the last position in the array and append to 6. And for the sites, you can see if we have a sites unique numbers over here, and if we print unique numbers, it will print 1 2. Oh, actually, you see what? We didn't see its site. If we specify its site, so Swift by default, Swift infrate. If we didn't put the type of site for the unique number, we specify the type of site. If we didn't, you see what it will print? It will print 1 2 2 3 4. Swift infer these unique numbers by this as default is array. And if we specify the site for these unique numbers of type of site, and if we print, it only have 2 1 3 4, and the sites, it will only have the unique values, and the second, the site is unsorted. So what do you mean? The array actually will have array, let's say print numbers of 0. It will be position 0 is 1, position 1 is value is 2. Value is 2, and you can see the unique numbers is unsorted, so it don't show position, and you cannot and you can see the order, the contents it shows is in unsorted order. So actually we put 1 2 2 3 4 in here, but actually it's not sorted. And control flow. Let's see functions first. You can see we have a function of grid. The function has parameter name. It's a parameter name of type of string, and return a string, and the curly bracket inside is our statements. Return a string hello backslash parentheses the variable. This is the variable name, and if it's in a string, you put backslash parentheses, and they will the variable name, and they will got the string interpolation, and you will see the return hello name. And for this function, we say calling function of grid, and inside we say grid name which is name. So you call the function, first is the parameter name, second you put the value, and we'll say the name is, our name is Swift, and I will say hello name. You can say the name is hello John, and you can immediately see the name changed to hello John. So this is a function. And go back to control flow. We can say we have control flow. First we say let temperature equal to 25, and we can say we have a function. Let's say func the hot or cold, and we can pass the name of temp, which is type of int, return type of string. So by calling hot or cold, we pass a temperature in, and we will return. We say if, see the control, if temperature greater than 30, we say return it's hot, and else if temp greater than 20, then we can say return it's nice, and else all other cases, so we can say return it's cold. And over here we can all call our function hot or cold, and in another case we can say the temp, which is 25, and today's temperature greater than 30. So you need to get the space, and we call today's temperature is nice, and if we say it's 35, today's temperature is hot. And we can say for loop. Function of for loop, and we don't need any parameter. We can just say for I in 1 to 5, and we say, oh, define, let's say var return type is string, var result equal to empty string, and we can say return result equal to result plus I. Oh, okay, you can say result plus I. We return int. Okay, on 1 to 3, right? Let's say we can say we call the function for loop. Oh, adds up. Adds up. So let's say adds up, and the test we say adds up 1 to 3. Result go to result plus int. Oh, okay. Actually, result equal to result plus I, and return result. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. So that push X up, adds up, okay. So now we can say adds up is 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6. So the adds up shows 6. And the while loop, let's say we have a function, we got still function adds up. We can say instead, we can just go to editor, select a structure, command selection. So instead of using the for loop, we can also use while loop, while count less than 3, and inside we say result equal to result plus count. And we need a variable of count equal to 0. And this time will never be executed. Oh, well, you see the while loop, we can say count plus equal to 1. Each time in the count the while loop, each time we just plus 1 to it. So this will be while count less than 3. The count initial value is 0, and the first loop will be count equal to 1, and the result will be 0 plus 1 is 1, and the count is less than 3. So the next loop, the count will be 2. 1 plus 1, and the result will be 1 plus 2 is the 3, and the next is 2. The count is 2. 3 plus 2 is 3 is 6. So that's the while loop. So while loop you need to specify a count which increment by a number, and you return the result. That's the while loop. And the functions, we can have a function has the function of height, and underscore is well called function. If you have a parameter start with underscore, you don't need to specify the name. A is used for internal variable name, and the type of int, and 2. The parameter name is 2, and the internal variable name is b, and the type of int, return type of int, and this will say return a plus b, and this time we call add up 1 to 2, and this time we call the function is add, and 1 2 is second parameter, 2 is 2, and adds up 1 to 2, and the value is 3, and the default you can have a function with welcome, the parameter for parameter name, type of string, and we say equal to the string. This is the default value, so we say guest, and this will return string, and this will return string, and type welcome / parentheses, and the variable name is name, and we can say welcome, and we'll say welcome, and we'll say welcome. This is our test welcome, and this welcome is from welcome, and the guest. You can see we didn't say the name. I actually use default parameter guest, but we can say dot specified parameter of a. What happened is welcome a, right? So that's the functions, and optionals. So for the optionals, it used like you will check if the value is nil or not. Let's say first we can say optional. First we can say we have a variable which is optional name. So how to define optional type? This we follow the string by a question mark, and this is optional string. So now we can say this will be equal to John, and this is optional string. To say it can say var about the nil value. If it's null or nil value is if it's type of a string optional string, and we can say this equal to nil. And for the optional binding, we can say welcome. So the optional type, like if we call, for example, if you call API, so the name returned from the API could be string type, or either it didn't return anything, then it will be nil. So then in that case, we define a variable of optional string. So if it's optional binding, is like, let's say we have a function called welcome. It's optional. Welcome is optional, and the name is type of optional string. The string followed by the question mark, and will return a string. And for the optional binding, we can say if light name equal to name. So this name is local, and this name is parameter. If light name equal to name, we can say return name. Others, we say return no name. So, and here we can say welcome is optional. Welcome is optional, and the name is optional name. And because our optional name is John, and it shows welcome John, but if we didn't say anything, so we only declare that this variable of optional is optional string type, and we didn't say anything, and by calling the welcome with optional and the name parameter, actually it passes a nil if the value is not nil, and return the actually name. But if the name is nil, and they return no name, and so it return no name. So this is optional binding. So we can put, we want to check the let's say the parameter name, which is not nil, not optional, and it will return the parameter. And also we can use the nil coalescing. So how to use that is I can say this optional string, we can comment this out. We only say we can return name and the double question mark all guessed. See, if we pass in optional name, let's see, welcome with optional, and the name is optional name, this is the variable we have over here. If we didn't put a set of value to it, it's nil. And if it's a nil, because we return the name with the nil coalescing, and for double question mark, if the name is not nil, if there's a value, it will return name. Otherwise, we return guessed. So now, let's say the name is AW, and we'll say welcome AW. So that's the nil coalescing with double question mark. Optional chaining. So let's say we have a function get then of string of optional string, and the value name is opt. opt string type of optional string, and it will return an integer, and we can say if the parameter is an optional string, and what we can say, let length equal to opt string question mark dot count, and we return length, and we say var length equal to 0. So what happened is, so now you can see the optional is okay. So let's just say the optional chaining is if the parameter string optional string, it can be nil or not nil. If it's not nil, use the optional chaining. It hides the function of count, the parameter of count. If it's a string, so then it has count. Otherwise, the length will be nil. So that's the optional chaining, and we can say. Then we'll return either int, or then we can say when we call this get length of optional string, and optional string is nil, and this will be, we use that coalescing, and we can say this is a 0. The length of optional string, and let's say let optional string type of string. So we have optional string variable, variable optional string. Okay. Get length of optional string. No. Okay, so we got a space, and we'll say the length of optional string is 0, and if we change the optional string equal to int 6, and we'll count the optional string. So this is optional chaining. If the optional variable, if it's nil, so how about they say if it's a nil, then it doesn't have a count parameter. So if it's not a string, right, it's nil, so then it doesn't have. So then you need to, for the optional, you need to use the option mark for optional chaining. Okay. and tuples. Let's see. Tuples. You can select coordinates equal to we define coordinates, say x, which is 10, and y is 20. So it also, we can say, specify the type is a tuple, and x is type of int, y is type of int. So we can define a tuple with a type, with x is a type of int, y is type of int. But because Swift can infer, we specify a value of this tuple type, and we don't need to specify the type over here. Let's say we define a tuple with coordinates x colon 10 and y colon 20, and this is coordinates, and we can say the x of the coordinates is and inside we say coordinates is the x by say the tuples x, which is 10. That's the coordinates x is 10, so we call coordinates dot x, and we got the 10. And we can say a function return a tuple. We can have a function get mean max, so either minimum or maximum, and we got a parameter numbers, which is type of int array, and we'll return a tuple, which is, let's say, mean is type of int, max type of int integer, and we can say return the numbers that we call the mean of the higher order function, and numbers at max. So this will return so you see the return type is tuple numbers, and we can say the mean value of 1, 8 is, and this we can say we call the function get mean max and numbers is 1, 8. And this we say dot mean, and we can say the mean value of array of 1, 8 is 1. And also we the coordinate the tuples, we can say tuple decomposition. Let's say we got a function get x from coordinates, and let's say the coordinates is type of x type of int, y type of int, return type of int, and we can say light decomposition of a tuple. We can say light x, and underscore we don't specify the y, and you can say this will equal to coordinates. Coordinates is a tuple type. Coordinates, and this will get the x from coordinates, and then return x. on this, we can say the x of coordinates is, then we can say get x from coordinates, and this coordinates parameter, which is coordinates tuple, and the x of coordinates is 10. So if you use that tuple decomposition, we can get the x and y from the coordinates. And yes, that's the Swift fundamentals.